Eric Samson is our speaker tonight. He's on the city council and at large, right? And has been the chief deputy of the Androscoggin County Sheriff's Department. And he's a very impressive guy, and I'm impressed that he's here. Thank you. I guess you'll get to talk to us about city or county issues or whatever you'd like, and we can have some Q&A, and then we'll get on with things. But thank you.
Dana sent me an email, and thanks for the opportunity. And I had to respond and say, well, you know, I'm not up for re-election. I'm not running for any office this time. And he thought that was fine. So I've been on the city council now. This is my third term. I was twice in Ward 3, now at large. I've never really been parochial, so I thought it was a good fit for me. I've gotten to participate in a lot of interesting committees, which has given me some good experiences. And he kind of asked me to relate a little bit to some of the things with the Sheriff's Department, where some of you live in different parts of the county, as well as things that affect the city. Right now, I'm currently on the 911 committee for Lewiston and Auburn. And over the years, there's been talk of consolidation of the 911, you know, when you call 911 the PSAPs, not knowing how familiar you are. But when you call 911, currently, if you live in certain parts of the county, goes to the Sheriff's Department, LA 911, which I'm on the board of as a city councilor, takes calls from Lewiston, Auburn, and some of the contracted towns. I believe Poland is the newest. There's been a huge consolidation effort over the past year and cost savings distribution. I see that moving forward. The state's offering good incentives right now to consolidate on our own. If not, they're going to force PSAP closures by 2014. With no financial incentives, will just be made to work together. I see the county and the committee working together to find some resolution to the disproportionate finances. So I think over the term of the next year, you may see some consolidation efforts that move along a little quicker, with the goal being to consolidate in July of 2011, which will bring savings to Lewiston, Auburn, and all the surrounding towns. I speak kind of fast. I got started in city government. My family's been involved in different things. My father was a Lewiston police officer, ran for city council, so it's always been an interest of mine. Regardless of political affiliation, when I was a kid, I remember going up Pleasant Street, putting Carter Mondale signs in people's lawns. So it's kind of something I've always been around. I was union president with the Sheriff's Department for a number of years. When the legislature came to talk to me about helping him out, offered to help us out. We talked about different things in the city with the fire department at the time. He asked me if I'd be interested in running for city council. And I thought at the time I was 31, 32 years old, that it was crazy, but I'm always willing to try anything. And that's how I got involved. It's been enlightening for me. I've learned a lot of things. I enjoy trying to balance out our fiscal responsibility along with community needs. And those are really diverse, where you're talking education, fire, police services. We all have different services that are near and dear to us, and to try and be protective of those and be financially responsible, because nowadays, or usually should be always cognizant of the expenses puts on us all with property tax wise. But I'm open for any criticism or any questions or thoughts, ideas, and you can always contact me, as Dana did, through email or the phone. It's kind of odd just speaking off the cuff when you're not running for re-election. But I am, open to any of your questions, comments, observations over the past year. As somebody mentioned earlier, I see you on TV. I kind of didn't know if that was a good or a bad thing, but I'm here, so if there is anything you'd like to talk about, feel free.
Yeah, thanks, Eric, for being here tonight. Because I went to Florida, and I got ideas and different things that I've talked to the Attorney General about too, when it comes to criminal stuff and different stuff that's going on with it. All your sheriff's department and your fire department down there, everything's through the county. All your small towns. When I leave Winter Haven, I get into Lake Alfred, or Baco, all those surrounding towns and areas. It's all one county. All those services are bound together, and it is a cost saving. I've noticed by doing that, it saves the taxpayers quite a lot when you got this stuff engineered together like this. And the cost of a small, a small town, a small population. They got to have a fire truck, or they need this. So the equipment, they can swap in and change equipment.
And some of the models they looked at for the 911 center have been copied out of the South, where county government's a lot stronger. Interesting enough, for Androscoggin County, I think we have a good opportunity ahead of us where they're looking at a charter commission. Hopefully that will add some sort of structure, some sort of professionalism overall to county government, and be able to take advantage of the opportunities in other consolidation efforts to add that professional administrative touch rather than everything up for grabs with elected officials. I mean, it will cost some investment, but I think over the long haul, there's some savings and efficiencies to be found in the county government. I think there's an opportunity there. I believe the charter is the first step, depending on how the voters feel and what the commission comes up with. But it could provide for some unique opportunities for this area down the road. Interestingly enough, in the chief deputy's position, you looked a lot at county government, and there was laws specific to counties, specifically to Androscoggin County, and how different counties are managed, how they operate, charters, 16 different counties, 16 different ways of running them. And there was laws uniquely specific to Androscoggin County, and kind of raised some red flags. So I think in this day and age where we're not traveling horse and buggy and where there's different things available to us, even when John Cleveland was probate there, he was putting everything on microfiche and access was a lot easier. I think with a charter and some sort of professional management style rather than just elected officials coming in and handling the day-to-day, that's the structure we have right now. 3 county commissioners are your whole. If you can get an executive leadership style in there, you can run it more like the cities and towns are run, and hopefully accomplish more and work better with your local municipalities to maybe bring more in and provide savings for all. It came up hugely when we went through I hate to bring it up, but the tax assessment. We talked about assessors and appraisers, maybe something like that under the county umbrella. Or as we're going through now, maybe the dispatch ends up under the county umbrella. It's a tool, it's there. There's a budget committee that oversees things. Maybe that is an opportunity for the future. But, pay attention. And when this charter commission's elected, I'm sure they're going to question a lot of people. I think input's welcome. And now's the time to strengthen county government. It could be a resourceful tool for Lewiston, Auburn, and all the surrounding towns, I believe.
You mentioned the assessment on property values and whatnot, and that was such an uproar in part because they waited so long to do it, and it was sort of some sticker shock from people to see what had happened to their homes' values in the meantime. And home prices have probably sunk a little since that last assessment. Have you heard any rumors on when they want to do one again, or?
Well, I was on the city council at the time, and when this Web Pro assessment was brought in, it was told to us that, long story short, you take out your top 10% of high sales and your bottom 10% because you've got people that will overpay in a certain market and people that will give away properties to family members, foreclosures, things of that nature. So you get the middle, and that program that we have at the city was supposed to adjust with the market. What we've discovered through the latest tax bill process is some people believe the system isn't. In looking at it and talking to the city manager about it, maybe there is some correction needed. Maybe things aren't inputted correctly. Maybe it isn't moving as fast as some of us expected. But I believe where it was advertised or billed as this will go with the market, so we'll have no need for a reval again. I can't see that has happened yet. As, like I said, the recent tax bill has gotten us a lot of phone calls. And if you look at it on paper, what the market will bear for a certain house and what they're being taxed at, it starts to raise a concern. So although it's a great resource, I think that data needs to be inputted correctly in order for us to manage it successfully. And we're just starting to look into that.
Well, I'm told that we're pressed for time tonight, so I'd like to keep you for a few more minutes if I can, but I had some no-bake cookies heavy on the peanut butter for you as a token of appreciation. And obviously this guy's very available. He was so happy to help us out tonight, and just shoot him an email. And yeah, you're gonna hate me. I'm gonna give these people all your home phone numbers.
If my 5-year-old answers, just be patient.